Let's talk about Pom Poko. On the surface, the film is about conservation of nature. But if you look at it deeper, it looks like Takahata commenting on labor disputes. But both are wrong. The film is actually criticizing fantasy movies. First of all, let's go back to Grave of the Fireflies. This beginning sequence, Ghost Seta looks straight at the audience. This means the movie character is aware of the existence of the audience. And when Seta looks at a different direction, he's leading us, the audience, to look at that direction. He's saying, look this way. What you see there is the current Sannomiya station. You've seen this picture before, right? The pillar, the ashtray with a distinctive design. Then another Seta appears here. The ashtray disappears. Ghost Seta is looking at another Seta who is dying. The ghost Seta is in the present day, recalling the past one more time. Then the things from the present day disappear and dying Seta appears. In these first few seconds of the movie, Takahata is telling the audience that he is going to talk about this poor boy who is bound to the mortal realm as a ghost. But you don't get this message until the very last scene of the movie. In the last scene, you see Ghost Seta and Ghost Setsuko. Setsuko is lying down. Seta waits for Setsuko to fall asleep, so he's temporarily free from her curse. Then he looks straight at the audience one last time. We need to see this scene as well as the first scene to understand what's really happening to him. Please watch my past lecture if you're interested in finding out more. Now, what I want to say here is that the first few seconds are really important in Takahata films. I mean, really. If you miss the message Takahata implements in the very first scene, you'll be pretty much clueless throughout the movie. Pom Poko is no exception. Remember this when you actually watch the film. The first 5 to 10 seconds are going to be super important, so don't miss them out. The first scene, it's a black screen. You hear kids singing to a raccoon. Tanuki-san, Tanuki-san, asobo janai ka. Then this comes out. The response, Ima gohan no massaichu. Okazu wa nani? Umeboshi koko. Hitokire chodai. Ara anta jotto gatsuki ne. The camera zooms little by little. The raccoon is drawn realistically. The raccoons are drawn both realistically and cartoonishly. This one is realistic, looking straight at us. This is the first point. Why is there a realistic raccoon in the very first image? Why is there a children's song? And why is the raccoon looking at us? If you understand why, I think you'll be able to understand pretty much the entire movie. There are two messages hidden in this scene. One is simple. It's about the plot. In the song, a human says to a raccoon, "Let's play." The raccoon says it's still eating. The human asks what it's eating. The raccoon answers, "Pickled plum and radish." The human asks if they can have a bite. Then the raccoon says, "Oh, aren't you greedy?" Little by little, humans take away the hills and fields, which were originally the raccoons' territory, saying, "Can we have a bite?" The raccoons don't realize how dangerous humans are until they lose all their territory. What greedy means is that the raccoons are surprised by how greedy humans are. humans take advantage of the peace-loving nature of the raccoons. This is what the first 10 seconds of the movie is telling us. This is pretty simple. Nothing complicated. Knowing the tendency of Takahata films, you'll be aware that there should be something in the beginning. But the other message hidden behind why the raccoon looks at us is so hard to get. Actually, you have to watch the movie until the end to fully understand the reason. As I said earlier, Pom Poko has been largely misconceived. Some say it's about ecology, while others say it's about social movements, such as Narita struggle. But one of the real themes of Pom Poko is epistemology. Takahata is expanding the discussion of the uncertainty principle by Heidelberg through anime. Let me explain. In the story, raccoons transform when humans see and expect them to. The raccoon at the beginning scene is a real raccoon, but it turns into a fantasized raccoon as people talk to it. People expect the raccoons to transform, then they do. When people expect them to talk, they do. Those raccoons that talk or transform have been living in Japan for hundreds of years. But they're about to perish since no one believes in them anymore. That's roughly the plot. Well, it may sound like another Toshio Okada delusion, so I'll give some evidence later on. You might be thinking, Okada is talking nonsense. Epistemology? Whatever. There are two scenes at the end where the raccoons look at the audience, just like in Grave of the Fireflies. You have to connect those two scenes and the first scene in order to understand what I'm talking about. Then you'll see what I mean by how Pom Poko is about epistemology, and it's also about criticism against the fantasy genre. First, I want to solve the mysteries as I promised last week. The first mystery of Pom Poko. Why did Hayao Miyazaki cry?